More parents opting kids out of standardized tests. ABC News. Now. Buckingham Palace. Grandparents' Day 2013. Teen runaways found. Syria strike. Brain-eating amoeba. Bruno Mars. Good Morning America. World News. Nightline. 20/20. This week. Sign in. Home. Video. U.S. World. Politics. Entertainment. Tech. Health. Lifestyle. Money. Shows. Math. World News. Nightline. 20/20. This week. More. Investigative. Money. Good news. Photos. ABC News vertical bracket Univision. Live. Weather preferences. Cancel. Set. Home. Video. U.S. World. Politics. Entertainment. Tech. Health. Lifestyle. Money. More. Investigative. Good news. Photos. ABC News vertical bracket Univision. Live. Home is greater than U.S. More parents opting kids out of standardized tests. Delaware Township, New Jersey. September 8, 2013, AP. By Katie Zezima, Associated Press. While his 8th grade classmates took state standardized tests this spring, Tucker Richardson woke up late and played basketball in his Delaware Township driveway. Tucker's parents, Wendy and Will, are part of a small but growing number of parents nationwide who are ensuring their children do not participate in standardized testing. They are opposed to the practice for myriad reasons, including the stress they believe it brings on young students, discomfort with tests being used to gauge teacher performance, fear that corporate influence is overriding education, and concern that test prep is narrowing curricula down to the minimum needed to pass an exam. I'm just opposed to the way high-stakes testing is being used to evaluate teachers, the way it's being used to define what's happening in classrooms, said Will Richardson, an educational consultant and former teacher. These tests are not meant to evaluate teachers. They are meant to find out what kids know. The opt-out movement, as it is called, is small but growing. It has been brewing for several years via word of mouth and social media, especially through Facebook. The Long Island Opt-out Info Facebook page has more than 9,200 members, many of them rallying at a Port Jefferson Station, New York, high school last month after a group of principals called this year's state tests a hero and their low scores a hero debacle. In Washington, D.C., a group of parents and students protested outside the Department of Education. Students and teachers at a Seattle high school boycotted a standardized test, leading the district superintendent to declare that city high schools have the choice to deem it optional. In Oregon, students organized a campaign persuading their peers to opt out of tests, and a group of students in Providence, Rhode Island, dressed like zombies and marched in front of the State House to protest a requirement that students must achieve a minimum score on a state test in order to graduate. I'm opposed to these tests, because they narrow what education is supposed to be about and they lower kids' horizons, said Jesse Agopian, a teacher at the Seattle school. I think collaboration, imagination, critical thinking skills are all left off these tests and can't be assessed by circling in A, B, C or D. For many parents and students, there have been few to no consequences to opting out of testing. Most parents are choosing to take their younger children out of testing, not older students for whom it is a graduation requirement. It's unclear if things will change when the Common Core curriculum and the standardized tests that will accompany it are implemented in the 2014-15 school year. Some states were granted waivers for No Child Left Behind, which requires districts to have at least 95% of students participate in standardized testing or be at risk of losing funding. Kristen Jogden, a spokeswoman for the Washington Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction, said the test Seattle deemed optional is not required by the state. 95% of students in a given school must take standardized tests that are required